Winter Garden will miss its city manager. Habitat for Humanity helps another family. A big Saturday this weekend that you should know about. And an unlikely man, through his survival, changed the world. The lesson of the story? Gratitude. The date is November 24th, 2021. And we're going to go through these stories and more. Welcome to West Orange on the Go. My name is Austin Arthur, and this is where we do local news and comment. And when I say local news, I mean hyper-local. West Orange. This is your news. We begin in 10 seconds.
You're listening to West Orange on the Go. Brought to you by the West Orange Times and Observer. Hosted by Austin Arthur. West Orange on the Go.
The Ocoee City Commission discussed a variety of potential solutions to traffic concerns on Hackney Prairie Road during its November 16th meeting. At the Commission's October 5th meeting, Commissioner George Oliver shared a video of an ATV operator and motorcyclist drag racing on the road. During this last meeting, Public Works Director Steve Krug responded officially by giving a presentation detailing potential solutions. Commissioner Rosemary Wilson raised concerns about the cost that had not been budgeted. In reply, the city manager suggested there may be mitigations available to make the expenses possible. They will revisit this discussion at their December 7th meeting. As you and I discussed last week, Winter Garden City Manager Michael Bullhofer, he is leaving the city in a much different position than when he started 25 years ago. Now, a quote from the city manager, the former city manager: "The biggest highlight of my career is the overall transformation of the city. I came in when Jack Quessenberry was the mayor and Hollis Holden was the city manager. They fixed all the utilities and infrastructure, and I was able to come in and, somewhat easier than the other stuff, which was necessary, be involved in the overall transformation." Bullhofer was hired in 1996 to work in the city's finance department. He became finance director and ultimately city manager in 2005. City of Winter Garden employees and leaders in the community were quick to praise Bullhofer for his vision and dedication to the city and its people. Winter Garden Mayor John Reese has worked with Bullhofer since 1995 in both his capacities as finance director and city manager. He said, quote, "Mike always had the best interests of the citizens of Winter Garden as top priority. From City Hall to Fowler Grove to the development of downtown. It shows his leadership, knowledge, and dedication to our community." End quote. Now the piece goes on and quotes many terrific city and community leaders, all who have something positive to say about Mr. Bullhofer. Now, regular visitors to Santa's old-fashioned Christmas trees were concerned not to see the tent go up on the corner of Dillard and Plant Streets in Winter Garden recently. Owner Billy Flanagan, however, was quick to assure customers there was nothing nefarious about the arrangement. In other words, it was not the city that kicked them out or anything like that. It was decided he would move the stand to just outside the gates of Windermere High School. Now, my family has gotten many trees over the years from this operation, and it's a great one. Very unique Christmas experience, great for the kids. I encourage you to check them out at Windermere High School. Now, all the benefits from the tent go to the Windermere High School Chorus as part of its fundraiser for the year, and they'll be there every weekday after school until 9 p.m. and on weekends, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You check them out. Now, in the meantime, I want you to focus on Saturday this year, downtown Winter Garden. We're going to get into it. Now, before we do, make sure you check out the big red boxes all around town. That's how you get your actual newspaper. Also, check out the holiday gift guide. The West Orange Times and Observer does it every year. It's a great place to check out gift suggestions and all kinds of wonderful Christmas things. It's a great community guide that comes out every year, so I want you to check that out in the big red boxes. Don't forget to visit us on orangeobserver.com and on Facebook. Another thing I want you to know about, just talking about the holidays, Christmas is coming, the Christmas Spectacular. Now, Gymnastics USA, my gymnastics center, with my brother and I, we opened it in 2014 here in Winter Garden. We're having a huge Christmas spectacular. This year, it's free for the community, totally free. Now, we're doing this with We Are Winter Garden, great community group who all of you probably know, and also with Healthy West Orange. So the three of us are putting this together for the community, totally free, December 11th. There'll be snow, food trucks, Santa Claus. So make sure you put that in your calendar, December 11th. 2-year-old Amani Kinski has the run of the house. Her mom, Natalie, can barely keep up as potted plants are rearranged and the kitchen becomes a playground. This typical slice of toddler life is far removed from the way this particular family began their year. Now, this new development, this new beautiful home and typical slice of toddler life was made possible by the West Orange Habitat for Humanity. Natalie and her daughter are the most recent recipients of a Habitat for Humanity home here in Winter Garden, Florida. Habitat homeowners have a mortgage that is never more than 30% of their income, and their mortgage is always interest-free. Now, that's a big deal. That's a lot of money saved for these folks. Now, these applicants, it's not easy. They have to place a lot of sweat equity into qualify. They have to work on homes, other people's homes or their homes. There's no handout here. It's a hand up. Natalie and her mother got up every Sunday morning to do Amazon runs to pay for the down payment and eventually for furniture, too. Now, she and her young daughter received the keys to their new home this month. She is looking forward to earning her degree in early childhood development from FIU and housing family and friends for her first Thanksgiving in her new home. Now, I encourage you to check out the West Orange Habitat for Humanity, doing a lot of good in our community. Now, I've been talking about it a lot. This weekend is Small Business Saturday. It's on Saturday, downtown Winter Garden. This is where you want to shop for your holiday gift giving. You want to support your local small businesses. Now, downtown Winter Garden, it's going to be a huge event. They're going to have all kinds of sidewalk sales going on. And get this, they're having a movie downtown for the kids. You come with the kids, you bring some lawn chairs, maybe some blankets or something. Might be cold. And they're going to play a free movie under the pavilion. It's going to be terrific. Great family fun. A lot of specials going on. To learn more about it, visit downtownwg.com. That's downtownwg.com. And if you see me there, make sure you stop and say hi, introduce yourself. I love our community. Shop local this year, downtown Winter Garden this Saturday. In our education news, Andrew Jackson will have the honor of being the first principal to preside over Horizon High School's first graduation, as he assumes the position from Laura Busey, who is retiring at the end of the semester. Now, the full story is in this week's paper. Now, I know Mr. Jackson. I know his family, and they are great people. Mr. Jackson is a great man. So Horizon High School is very well served to have this good man as their new principal. Now, let's go into some of our sports high five for this week. Number 1, Foundation Academy's Braden Holcomb was named the third best shortstop in Baseball America's Class of 2023 high school rankings. Holcomb has expressed a verbal commitment to play baseball for Vanderbilt. Number 2, Horizon girls soccer team continues its unbeaten streak as it laid a 9-1 smackdown on Umatilla High School November 19th. Their next game will be against South Lake on November 30th. Number 3, Olympia golfer Aaron Leach finished 4th at the FHSAA Class 3A golf tournament on November 17th. And the Windermere boys team took 4th place in the same tournament. Number 4, a group of Windermere Prep athletes hosted a community workout as part of a food drive, raising a large amount of food to be given away over the Thanksgiving holiday. Number 5, West Orange is the last team standing of all West Orange County teams in the playoffs after its 16-7 victory over Osceola. The Warriors will travel November 26 to Venice for the regional final as they look to advance to the state semifinals for the first time since 2015. Now, as always, the fans can purchase tickets on the GoFan app. Now, we're about to get into our final story, which is a good one for the season. But I want you to know about Foundation Academy. Now, a lot of you know the school. The main campus, to me, it's the main campus. They have 3 beautiful campuses, is right there downtown Winter Garden. It's incredible. It's been there since 1958. And let me tell you their slogan, it says it all. Foundation Academy, where character matters. In 1620, a small ship, no more than 100 feet, set sail with 102 passengers on board. They were leaving an old world where they struggled to achieve religious freedoms. Within a year, half of those pilgrims would be dead. On board the Mayflower was an indentured servant. This is a form of temporary slavery. So this man, he was going to the New World, perhaps hoping that God had a better plan for him. One night the seas were very rough during this dangerous trip, and this indentured servant, this slave named John Howland, fell off the boat. William Bradford, the group's leader, wrote about the event in his diary. He states that John Howland was under the water for some time and describes that he must have been 12 to 18 feet underneath. It turned out that John Howland just happened to grab a hold of one of the halyards on the way down as he fell off the boat. Now, the waters were crashing. It was a rough situation. But he was hanging on. He was hanging on one of these halyards that were connected to the sails. Deep into the water, though. The people aboard realized that he was under the water, still hanging on to this rope. So they rushed and they pulled it up. They pulled him up out of the water. John Howland, amazingly, he survived. Well, the Pilgrims made it to the New World. They signed an important compact, suffered for a year, lost half of their people, and then by God's grace had a great harvest. They ended up praising God through a great feast with some Indian friends who helped them along the way. And John Howland eventually, after several years, he earned his freedom and became very successful. As a matter of fact, he was a leader of the community. He had 10 children. From those 10 children, he had over 80 grandchildren. Now, in a time when life expectancy was about 43 years old, John lived to be over 80 years old. But that is not the most impressive thing. You see, because his life was saved that day, we were able to enjoy the talents of Humphrey Bogart and Chevy Chase. These are some of his direct ancestors. There was a long list of them with names that you would recognize. Some of those names changed the world, including 3 U.S. presidents, George H. and W. Bush, and the president who got us through World War II, who helped us to defeat evil, Franklin D. Roosevelt. If that night John Howland didn't grab that rope, if those people didn't help pull him up, there would have been no FDR. There would have been no George W. Bush. History would have changed. You see, your life matters. Your life, even if not in your lifetime, can change the world. This Thanksgiving, I hope you find time to give thanks for your life. Give thanks to the author of all the good that was, that is, or that will be. Give thanks to God. You were created for a purpose. there is a plan for you. This has been Austin Arthur with the West Orange Times and Observer. And until next week, have a happy and blessed Thanksgiving.